Some fantasy anime feel recycled, but these new series bring brutal worlds, unpredictable powers, insane visuals, and stories capable of completely dominating 2026. Kicking off our list at number 10, The Beginning, After the End. King Grey dies after ruling through fear and isolation, then reincarnates as Arthur Lewin inside a magical continent filled with mana beasts, kingdoms, and ancient secrets. Unlike his previous life, Arthur grows surrounded by love while training extraordinary magic abilities. However, powerful enemies, hidden races, and political conspiracies slowly drag him toward more dangerous battles, threatening everyone around him daily. This adaptation already carries massive expectations because the original web novel and manhwa built an enormous fan base worldwide. Arthur's progression feels rewarding instead of rushed, and the emotional balance between family moments and explosive combat gives the series real staying power. If the studio delivers consistently polished animation, this could easily become fantasy anime's next giant phenomenon. Moving down the rankings to number 9, Witch Hat Atelier. Coco lives inside a world where only chosen witches can perform magic until she discovers spells are created through carefully drawn symbols and secret ink. After accidentally causing disaster using forbidden magic, Coco becomes apprenticed to the mysterious witch Chiefrey. Together they explore magical societies, hidden dangers, and terrifying truths surrounding magic's restrictions, while enemies manipulate events from dangerous shadows behind kingdoms. Few fantasy anime possess artwork this visually enchanting. The manga already feels like moving storybook art, and the adaptation looks determined to preserve every intricate design. Beyond visuals, the magic system feels genuinely intelligent because spells depend on creativity instead of raw strength alone. Coco's emotional growth and curiosity also make the journey constantly engaging from episode to episode. Sliding into number 8, Tugananki Shiki Ichinose discovers he carries Oni blood after a sudden attack destroys his ordinary life and reveals a hidden war between Oni descendants and Momotaro warriors. Forced into brutal training, Shiki struggles controlling violent powers inherited from his lineage while confronting enemies determined to erase his entire Kaya kind. As conflicts escalate, revenge, loyalty, and identity become central forces shaping his dangerous future ahead. Tugananki immediately stands out through its aggressive energy and stylish character designs. The series mixes supernatural gang warfare with chaotic action sequences that feel relentlessly intense. Shiki also avoids becoming another generic hot-headed protagonist because his emotional instability genuinely influences the story. Fans wanting darker fantasy battles, violent rivalries, and dramatic power clashes should absolutely keep this adaptation locked onto their watchlist. Charging forward at number 7, Gachiaku Terudo survives within a floating city where society throws both criminals and garbage into an endless abyss beneath civilization. After being falsely accused of murder, Rudo gets discarded into the wasteland below and discovers monstrous creatures alongside warriors wielding powers through treasured objects. Determined to uncover corruption above, he joins dangerous fighters battling horrific threats while searching for justice against the elites responsible behind everything. Gachiakuta feels wildly different from standard fantasy anime because its entire aesthetic thrives on grime, destruction, and raw urban chaos. The manga's kinetic action and graffiti-inspired designs already built major hype online. More importantly, Rudo's desperation gives the story emotional weight beneath the spectacle. If the adaptation captures the manga's frantic energy properly, this series could absolutely explode across anime communities. Breaking into our top 6 at number 6, Secrets of the Silent Witch. Monica Everett becomes the world's only mage capable of casting magic silently, earning legendary status despite overwhelming social anxiety, preventing normal conversations. Assigned to secretly protect a prince attending prestigious academy classes, Monica hides her identity while navigating noble politics, magical conspiracies, and constant pressure threatening exposure. Her extraordinary abilities clash hilariously with crippling awkwardness, creating dangerous situations throughout every complicated mission she undertakes. This series wins immediately because Monica feels refreshingly human despite her overwhelming magical talent. Instead of another overconfident genius, viewers get an anxious protagonist forced through uncomfortable situations constantly. The contrast between her terrifying combat strength and painfully awkward personality creates genuinely entertaining comedy. Combined with academy intrigue and polished fantasy aesthetics, this adaptation has strong potential for widespread popularity fast. Storming into number 5, The Water Magician. After dying unexpectedly, Rio reincarnates inside a fantasy world blessed with water magic and immortality like longevity. Hoping for a peaceful existence, he instead spends decades mastering survival, combat, and advanced spellcraft while encountering dangerous monsters, political conflicts, and legendary warriors. Rio's calm personality masks terrifying magical potential that steadily transforms him into one of the world's most influential and unstoppable figures over time. The Water Magician feels appealing because it embraces slower fantasy progression without losing momentum. Watching Ryo gradually refine his abilities over years creates satisfying development that feels earned naturally. The series also balances relaxing exploration with explosive magical confrontations surprisingly well. Fans craving thoughtful world-building, strong elemental combat, and a mature protagonist should definitely keep this adaptation firmly on their radar. Entering the final stretch at number 4, Apocalypse Bringer. Minogra Takuto. Ira dies from illness before awakening inside the strategy game Eternal Nations as the evil god leading Minogra, a supposedly doomed civilization. Alongside loyal Dark Elf 2, Takuto rebuilds his nation using game mechanics, diplomacy, and military strategy, while hostile empires fear his expanding influence. However, survival becomes increasingly difficult as stronger factions begin recognizing Minogra's terrifying potential for domination across continents. Fantasy anime rarely focus heavily on kingdom management combined with genuinely strategic expansion, which immediately helps this series stand apart. Takuto succeeds through intelligence and planning instead of reckless heroics, making every victory feel calculated carefully. The darker atmosphere also adds tension because Minogra constantly balances between survival and conquest. Viewers who enjoy large-scale political maneuvering should absolutely watch this adaptation closely. Claiming the number 3 position, Hell Mode, Yamada Kenichi spends his previous life trapped inside repetitive routines until he chooses the hardest possible difficulty setting while starting a mysterious fantasy game. Reborn as Alan within another world, he trains relentlessly under brutal conditions while developing summoning powers requiring extreme effort to master. Unlike typical overpowered protagonists, Alan advances slowly through discipline, strategy, and non-stop grinding against increasingly dangerous enemies across kingdoms. Hell Mode understands exactly why progression-focused fantasy stories become addictive. Every achievement feels satisfying because Alan genuinely struggles for his strength instead of receiving effortless advantages immediately. The world also expands naturally through adventures, guild missions, and political conflicts without overwhelming pacing. Fans tired of instant, overpowered protagonists will probably appreciate this anime's commitment to earned growth and consistent character development throughout. Racing toward the top at number 2, Reborn as a Space Mercenary. Satu Takahiro suddenly awakens inside the universe of his favorite space combat game while piloting an advanced spaceship loaded with overwhelming weaponry. Adopting the name Hero, he becomes an independent mercenary traveling across galaxies filled with pirates, noble factions, alien encounters, and dangerous missions. While Hero enjoys freedom and wealth initially, increasingly complicated conflicts threaten dragging him into larger interstellar wars constantly. This series instantly separates itself by blending Isekai fantasy concepts with flashy science fiction adventure. Space battles, customizable ships, and galaxy exploration create refreshing variety compared with standard medieval settings everywhere. Hero's relaxed personality also makes interactions surprisingly entertaining without undermining serious moments completely. If the adaptation nails the scale of its universe alongside dynamic combat sequences, this anime could attract massive attention quickly. And finally, reigning supreme at number 1, Solo Camping for 2. Gen Kanekura enjoys peaceful solo camping trips far away from crowded cities until he encounters inexperienced camper Shizuku Kusano during one excursion. Despite preferring isolation, Gen gradually teaches Shizuku survival techniques cooking methods, and outdoor skills while their bond deepens through shared adventures. Together, they explore beautiful landscapes, relaxing campfire moments, and emotional experiences, transforming both their perspectives on companionship and personal happiness. Solo Camping for Two earns the top position because its grounded atmosphere feels incredibly refreshing beside louder fantasy action series everywhere currently. The chemistry between Jen and Shizuku creates natural emotional warmth without excessive melodrama. Beautiful scenery, detailed camping sequences, and calming storytelling give the anime enormous comfort appeal. Sometimes the most memorable adventures come from quieter journeys shared between compelling characters together. These upcoming fantasy anime prove the genre still has limitless creativity, from brutal supernatural warfare to relaxing emotional adventures. Every series here brings distinct energy worth experiencing. Now I want your rankings. Which upcoming fantasy anime deserves the biggest spotlight this year? And which hidden title are viewers still seriously underestimating right now?